6 has been here. Listen, this is the champions. It's Champions League time, man. Oi. Now listen, earlier on this week, we asked you lot on our Instagram, did a little vote saying, hey, what do you think? Do you like this new league setup? How would you think about it? Do you prefer the old one? Now, when they talked about changing it, I was like, why are they changing it? It's perfect the way it is. Why are you changing it? Why are you mixing it up for? I must admit, I know you're going to say it's just because Liverpool's top of the table. No, it's not, honestly. Although we are top of the table. But it's not because of that. But what I've enjoyed about this, it's been 8 matches, all against different opposition, which has been kind of cool to see. Obviously, 4 at home, 4 away, as opposed to the typical playing the same matches, playing the team home and away, or if we don't get them now, get them out our home sort of thing. So it's been refreshing to see as far as competition-wise goes. But bloody hell, this league table, it's flipping sticky. It is sticky, because I'll try and break it down to you right now in the best way that I can, but it is bloody sticky. So, if you recall, I'll just quickly recap it. The first 8 go directly through to the knockout stages. The following 16 teams, so from 9 to 24, are in what they call a playoff position. So they will draw who's going to play who in a home and away matchup, so two leg match, to meet the first 8 in the knockout competition. You with me so far? And then the remaining 8 from 25 down to 36 drop into Europa. You guys with me? All right, cool. So, with that being said, we're going to look at this league table, because this league table is an absolute madness. Now, we're looking at from 5th place, Atletico Madrid, sitting on 15 points, all the way down to 13th place, which is Brest, sitting on 13 points. Those teams right there are all vying to stay in the top 8. Yeah? So from 5th place down to 13th place could all potentially end up in the top 8, depending on obviously their fixtures and their results and the results of the remaining teams around them. Yeah? Stay with me. Then we go to who can remain in the top 24. So we are now looking at from Shakhtar Donetsk, who are in 27th position right now on 7 points, all the way, all the way up to, all the way up to PSV, who are sitting on 11 points right now, and Club Brugge sitting on 11 points in 19th and 20th position. So from 19th right down to 27th, those clubs right now are vying to stay in the top 24 in order to play in those playoffs. Are you following me? Now, sitting in 25th position are Manchester City. So they are playing, I believe it is Club Brugge. I'll go into the fixtures just shortly. Manchester City is sitting on 8 points at this point. Club Brugge, as I mentioned before, sitting on 11 points. So Club Brugge draw their match against Man City. Man City will have 9 points. Man City will be out of the options as far as reaching the final 24. Are you following me? See what I'm saying? All right, let's get into these fixtures now, because, as I said, these fixtures are looking very tasty, very sticky for a lot of clubs. It is quite the thing. So again, having this league table element really, it's made it a little bit more exciting, because now this final match day, we all know, like typically in the group stages, come to final match day, things are pretty much sewn up for pretty much everybody. Having so many teams in such a position where they have so much to play for going into the last match day, as a neutral, as a football fan, it's exciting. Honestly, I'll give you away for credit. You mean? I'll give you a lot of credit. This league table, it's kind of cool. It is kind of cool. Now, going to the last day there, we have Aston Villa taking on Celtic, Barcelona taking on Atalanta, Leverkusen taking on Sparta Prague, Bayern Munich taking on Slovan. Bayern Munich are fighting to get into their playoff spots, making sure they hold their spot in the playoff spots. Dortmund taking on Shakhtar Donetsk. I mentioned Shakhtar Donetsk already. They're fighting to get themselves into the playoff spots. Brest taking on Real Madrid. If Brest win this match, they potentially could end up in the final 8, and Real Madrid would stay in the playoff spots. Bloody hell, can you imagine? Dinamo Zagreb taking on AC Milan. Girona taking on Arsenal. Inter Milan taking on Monaco. Juve playing Benfica. Lille playing Feyenoord. Man City playing Club Brugge. As I mentioned, Man City, if they do not win this match, they will find themselves bounced out of the Champions League. They will not make it to the knockout stages or even to the playoffs for the knockout stages. PSV taking on Liverpool. Liverpool need 1 point to ensure that they win the top of the group. Excuse me. That they win the entire league stage and finish first. Barcelona behind them with 3 points, but with a better goal difference right now. Red Bull Salzburg taking on Atletico Madrid. Again, Atletico need to make sure that they win their match to stay in the top 8. They won't get bounced out of the competition. But again, if you do not need to play an extra match, extra 2 matches, then why would you? You can rest your players and be fresh for the knockout stages. So Atletico Madrid definitely want to be winning this one. Sporting taking on Bologna. Storm taking on Leipzig. Stuttgart taking on PSG. Young Boys taking on Red Star Belgrade. Now listen, as I said, with the way the tables stand, there's so many matches, so many things hanging in the balance. Again, I'll give credit. I don't know if you remember that skit that UEFA put on with all the previous superstars saying that it's going to be better. You know what? They were telling the truth. Because this league table situation right now, yeah, it's exciting. Now, that does mean there's more matches for the players. So obviously, fatigue, injuries, all the rest of it, I get it. So from that perspective, I get why, yes, it's potentially more of a burden for the players. But again, as a spectator, as a fan, bloody hell, man. This is exciting. This is exciting. So what do you think? Who's going through? Who's going to get knocked out? What's going to happen? We're going to see some big names drop out. Boy, and when this draw happens for the knockout stages, for the little playoff stages, there could be some big matchups in that one. So, wow. Stay tuned for this one because, again, this is the champions! That's been your footy fix. Boom.
Nice.
Good?
Yeah.
All right.
Six.